Welcome to Magic Tale World, where every story comes alive with wonder. Let's open the book and begin our adventure together.
In a land far, far away, nestled between marshmallow mountains and lollipop forests, lived a little monster named Morty. Now, Morty wasn't a scary monster. In fact, he was the shyest monster in all of Monstroland. He was covered in fluffy, purple fur, had 3 wiggly antennae, and big, gentle eyes. But Morty had a little problem. He didn't know how to smile. Every morning, the sunflowers would giggle as the breeze tickled their petals. The babbling brooks would chuckle as little fish splashed about. Even the grumpy old gnome who lived under the rainbow bridge would crack a grin from time to time, but not Morty. Whenever he saw other monsters playing, laughing, and smiling wide, happy smiles, his heart would feel a little heavy, and he'd scurry away to hide behind a big mushroom. He wanted to smile. Oh, how he wanted to! He'd stand in front of his little pond, looking at his reflection, and He'd try to lift the corners of his mouth, but they just wouldn't budge. He'd puff out his cheeks, wiggle his nose, and even try thinking of the funniest things he could imagine, like a squirrel wearing a tiny top hat or a frog singing opera. But his face just stayed the same, a little bit wobbly, and a whole lot worried. The other monsters didn't understand. Why is Morty always so gloomy? They'd whisper, "Doesn't he want to play with us?" Morty heard them, and it made him feel even shyer. He just didn't know how to show them the happiness he felt inside. One sunny afternoon, while Morty was sadly kicking a pebble near the whispering woods, he heard a tiny sound. It was a faint little T. Dash! He peeked through the tall grass and saw a tiny, sparkly creature with wings like stained glass. It was a giggle sprite. Her name was Sparkle. She was zipping around a buttercup, leaving a trail of shimmering dust, and every time she flitted, she let out a little laugh. Sparkle noticed Morty watching her. Instead of flying away, she fluttered right over and landed on his nose. "Hello there," she chirped, her voice like tiny bells. "You look like you're carrying a big, heavy cloud. What's wrong?" Morty was so surprised he couldn't speak. He just pointed to his mouth and shook his head. Sparkle tilted her head. "Oh, I see," she said thoughtfully. "You've forgotten how to smile, haven't you?" Morty nodded, a big tear welling up in one of his gentle eyes. "Don't you worry, big fella," Sparkle giggled. "Smiling isn't something you do with just your mouth. It's something you feel with your whole heart. I can help you find it." Sparkle explained that a true smile starts from the inside out. "We just need to fill you up with so much happiness that it spills out onto your face," she declared. "Let's go on a happiness hunt." Morty had never been on a hunt before, especially not a happiness hunt, but he was willing to try anything. He gave a hopeful little wiggle of his antennae. Their first stop was the field of snuggle bunnies. These weren't ordinary bunnies. Their fur was as soft as a cloud, and they loved to give cuddles. At first, Morty was too shy. He just stood at the edge of the field. But one little bunny, with floppy ears and a twitchy nose, hopped right up to him and nuzzled against his leg. Then another came, and another, until Morty was surrounded by a pile of warm, fluffy bunnies. He felt a warm, fuzzy feeling spread through his chest. It wasn't a smile yet, but it was close. It was a happy sigh. Next, Sparkle took Morty to the echo caves. "Now," she said, "I want you to listen." Inside the cave, every sound bounced back, but with a funny twist. A drip of water sounded like a plink-plunk. A pebble skittering sounded like a whiz. Sparkle made a silly raspberry sound, P-B-B-B-T. And the cave echoed back, P-B-B-B dash D-I-D-D-L-Y dash D dash B-B-T. Morty couldn't help it. A little sound escaped his throat. It started as a rumble in his belly, then traveled up his chest. It was a chuckle. A small, rumbly monster chuckle. The cave echoed it back, making it sound even funnier. Chuckle, muckle, muckle. Morty chuckled again, a little louder this time. For their final stop on the happiness hunt, Sparkle led Morty to the top of Sunday's summit just as the sun was setting. The sky was painted in magnificent colors: strawberry pink, orange cerbère, and blueberry purple. They sat together, watching the clouds drift by, shaped like funny animals. "Look," Morty whispered, pointing a furry finger. "That one looks like a dragon chasing its tail." Sparkle giggled. "And that one looks like an elephant balancing on a bowl." They watched the world turn quiet and beautiful. Morty felt a deep sense of peace and wonder. The warm, fuzzy feeling from the bunnies and the rumbly-tumbly feeling from the cave all swirled together inside him. He looked at his tiny friend, Sparkle, who was glowing softly in the twilight. He thought about the soft bunnies, the silly echoes, and the beautiful sunset. His heart felt so full it felt like it might pop. And then it happened, slowly, like a shy flower opening its petals to the sun. The corners of Morty's mouth began to lift. It wasn't a big smile, not at first. It was a small, gentle, wobbly curve. But it was real. Sparkle clapped her tiny hands. "You did it, Morty. You're smiling." Morty touched his face. He could feel it. A real smile. He looked at his reflection in a puddle, and there he was, Morty, the smiling monster. The smile grew wider and wider, until his whole face was lit up with joy. He let out a big, happy laugh, a sound he had never made before. The next day, when the other monsters saw Morty, they couldn't believe their eyes. He wasn't hiding behind mushrooms anymore. He was standing right in the middle of the meadow, with a huge, happy smile on his face. He waved to them. "Hello," he said, his voice full of newfound confidence. The other monsters, surprised and delighted, smiled back and waved. "Do you want to play Sunsprout tag?" one of them asked. Morty's smile grew even bigger. "I'd love to. Cheer. Cheer. They." From that day on, Morty was known as the monster with the sunniest smile in all of Monsterland. He learned that happiness wasn't something to hide, but something to share. And sometimes, all you need is a little friend and a happiness hunt to help you find your smile. Morty and Sparkle remained the best of friends, and they spent their days spreading joy and laughter all over the land, proving that even the shyest monster can learn to shine. We hope you enjoyed Morty's story. Remember, a smile is a powerful thing, and sharing one can brighten someone's day. If you liked our video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with a friend who makes you smile. And don't forget to subscribe for more wonderful stories. Thanks for watching.